Hey folks, Dr. Jeff Williams here, Amarillo, Texas. I am your favorite Amarillo chiropractor and your favorite fellowship trained chiropractic orthopedist and neuromusculoskeletal specialist. That's a lot to say, I gotta say. But hey, I'm coming to you again. This is the second video this week. I recorded one on Monday and then the models changed, and they changed for the better. There's been one theme I've noticed since this thing all got started, and that's that there was zero good news coming from anywhere. You couldn't find it. All doom and gloom, and rightfully so. People dying right and left, confusion, nobody knows what's going on. There's no rhyme or reason as to why it affects one but not another, and no treatment to really hang a hat on, at least a proven treatment anyways. Well, let's start getting some good news rolling in, shall we? I think it's high time. New York, for example, they've leveled out in new cases, and now they're on their downhill. They already reached their peak. Hospitalizations are dropping now. Here in Texas, our curve is flatter than it was in New York. We did a better job of flattening that curve. Our peak in Texas looks to be in April 23rd right now. If all goes well, by mid-May, May 15th, Texas is down to only 15 deaths a day across the entire state of Texas. And while that's still no bueno, of course, when you compare it to our peak of 66 a day, well, that's moving in the right direction. And by June 1st, if everything again goes well, we're down to only 1 death per day across the entire state of Texas. And while June 1st sounds like a long ways away, it's really not in the whole grand scheme of things. Now, on top of that, I spoke with a hospital nurse, a BSA here in Amarillo, an emergency room nurse. Just today, she told me that there are not many in the hospital at this time with COVID. And for the most part, any COVID positives they've seen, they've been able to send home and they've been able to manage it at home. And that's excellent news, and it's straight from the front lines. Bless their hearts. Let's pray for them. April 12th is our new projected peak date. Just this Monday, we were looking at about April 16th as the peak date. Now they move it up to the 12th, so shortening the curve means it's working, y'all. The best news I have to share, I think, is that just Monday, when I recorded that video, we were projected to lose 3,140 lives in one day, our peak day. Now, in one day, it's down to 2,212. Now, that's a lot, but man, that's a lot less than it was. The models dropped from a total overall death of around 83,000 or so overall in America. Now, they're down to 60,415, and that is huge. Just by following recommendations as a nation, we have saved lives beyond what we could ever have imagined. And when we think about we get kind of down, we get a little depressed about our businesses being closed for a bit, remember that early death predictions, if we went about life as usual and did absolutely nothing to mitigate it, those death projections were somewhere around 2 million lives lost just in America. That's just the USA. And then some of us started distancing and really starting to take this seriously. Others kind of did whatever they wanted to do, just like the spring breakers in Florida. I think you know who I'm pointing at here. So while some of us were doing it, some of us were not, the death projections were around 150,000 up to about 240,000 or so. Then distancing was working, right? But I think people finally got the message. States started cracking down. Now we're down to an estimated 60,415 total deaths from what could have been 2 million. Unfortunately, only 16,000 or so of those deaths have already taken place. So there's still far too many to come, but that's my only bad news today. I want mostly to talk about good news. And I wanted to also let you know about a brand new resource that you can check out. It's called C19check.com. If you're feeling a little off, if you're worried about your health, go to the link, answer their questions, and put in your symptoms. It's streamlined to give you some direction and help you know what to do with yourself. Basically, it assesses your risk for having COVID-19. So go check it out. It's a pretty cool resource. Did you know that while there may be 1.5 million people with this COVID-19 across the globe, around the world, did you know that over 310,000 have already recovered? Well, that's a huge number, and that's good news. We have an antibody test coming online very quickly. That's exciting. We're going to have a lot bigger, clearer, more focused picture about what's going on with this nasty bug once we get all of the information we need. There's still plenty of excitement around the hydroxychloroquine protocol, although scientists are still a little slow to green light that. There are more options being explored having to do with the antibodies in the plasma from those that have already recovered. That's exciting. And while we have to know things are not getting back to the normal that we once knew, that's not going to happen until there's either an effective treatment or there's a vaccine. But you can see things improving quite a bit over the next month or two, I think. America and the globe in general are more capable of developing treatments for something like this than they've ever been before. More good news is that we will start seeing emergency patients only, and we'll start that on Monday, April 13th. Emergency chiropractic care, yes, it does exist. There are people who can't hardly function, move, or walk, and they really, really need your help. Otherwise, they'll be going down to the emergency room. So we're going to be seeing those patients here in my office starting Monday, April 13th. If you are not an emergency patient, but you still need some help, call us at 806-355-3000, and we can set you up on a telehealth appointment. That's where we're going to meet online, me and you, face to face, you and I, so I can get an idea of what is going on with you and give you some targeted exercises and some at-home strategies to help you control it until we can get you here into the clinic. Anyone in the state of Texas can set up a telehealth appointment with me. I just had 4 telehealth appointments today, and I had one last week that was a patient that was all the way down in East Texas. So take advantage of this opportunity. It's really new. But we can really help quite a bit, so take advantage of it. On top of everything else I mentioned, I have to say I've really kind of enjoyed being a little bit lazy about when I absolutely have to be in the office. I've not slept all that well because stress and anxiety will do that, so I've gotten to sleep in a little bit. I've completed some projects around the house. I've spent more time with the family, although they're probably ready for me to go back to work full time now, and I don't blame them. But the thing is that there's lots of really good news. This too shall pass. Just stay healthy. Wear a mask at all times in public right now, and take good care of yourselves and take good care of your families.